What's really behind the massive new camera bar on the iPhone 17 Pro? At first, it just seemed like Apple was copying Google's Pixel phones. But now, we might actually have a solid reason, and it could be linked to a major upgrade. Lately, rumors have been flying about the iPhone 17 Pro series. Most leaks now agree on one thing: the new Pro models will feature a large horizontal camera bar that stretches across the back of the phone. It's a huge change from Apple's usual style. We've seen leaked renders, and just recently, clear case images have surfaced that show an even better look at the size and shape of this new camera island. Tipster Sonny Dixon shared photos of these clear iPhone 17 Pro cases, and the cutout for the camera area is much wider than what we saw on the iPhone 16 Pro cases. That's a strong sign that this new horizontal camera bar isn't just a rumor, it's actually happening. But even with all the leaks, no one really knew why Apple would make such a big design change. The layout of the cameras, still in a triangular shape, doesn't seem to be changing. So what's the point of making the bumps so wide? A new leak might have finally answered that question. A user on X, formerly Twitter, who goes by at Maya_Kakarich, may have revealed the actual reason behind the new design. The info was picked up by 9to5Mac, and it connects directly to some big changes inside the camera system. According to this leak, the iPhone 17 Pro will replace its current 12-megapixel telephoto lens with a brand new 48-megapixel one. It will still have 10x optical zoom, but the jump in resolution means more detail in zoomed-in shots. The thing is, when you increase megapixels without increasing the sensor size, each pixel gets smaller, and smaller pixels don't collect as much light. That's a big issue for low-light photography. To solve that, Apple may be increasing the size of the camera sensor itself. But here's the catch. To make that fit without making the phone thicker or changing the layout, they might have to rotate the telephoto lens. This rotation would take up more space and leave no room for some of the other parts, like the LiDAR scanner, LED flash, and microphone, in their usual spots. So Apple is reportedly moving those components to the far side of the camera bar. That's likely why the bump is stretched out horizontally. It's not just for style, it's to make space for a better camera system. Of course, we should mention that this leak isn't from a major source with a proven track record, so it's best to stay a little cautious. Still, this theory lines up with everything else we've seen so far, including the updated case designs and leaked renders. As for the rest of the phone's look, don't expect huge changes. Some earlier rumors said Apple might go for a two-tone design, but recent reports suggest the camera bar will match the body color, keeping things sleek and simple. And no, the dynamic island probably isn't going anywhere. Most sources say it'll remain in the same size for now. On the inside, things could be even more exciting. Most iPhone 17 Pro models are expected to use Apple's next-generation chips built on Taiwan's semiconductor manufacturing company's third-generation 3nm process known as N3P. But what if one of Samsung's most hyped phones of the year never made it to your country? That's the big question surrounding the Galaxy S25 Edge right now. Originally expected to launch on April 15 and then pushed to May 13, the release date is now being pushed back even further, maybe to the end of May. But here's the catch: it might only launch in 2 countries. According to a trusted source, Ice Universe, Samsung is now planning to release the Galaxy S25 Edge only in South Korea and China next month. That's it. No US launch, no Europe either, at least not for now. If this sounds familiar, that's because it reminds people of last year's Galaxy Z Fold Special Edition. That phone also launched in just a couple of places and never went global. But unlike the Z Fold, Samsung originally had bigger plans for the Galaxy S25 Edge. In fact, back in January, there was a leak suggesting the phone would be available in 39 countries, including big markets like the UK, France, India, Brazil, Mexico, and Australia. So what happened? That's still unclear. Some believe there might be a technical issue or production delay behind the scenes. And if Samsung doesn't fix it soon, there's a real chance the phone may remain exclusive to South Korea and China, at least for a while. That's not exactly great news for fans around the world who are excited about this slim and stylish device. Still, there's hope that Samsung might roll it out in more countries by June. But for now, it's all up in the air. Now, if the Galaxy S25 Edge does launch in Europe soon, we already have a good idea of the price. A recent report says the base version with 12GB RAM and 256GB storage will cost €1,249, which is about $1,365. That's more expensive than the standard Galaxy S25, plus by around €100 in most European markets. And if you want more storage, the 512GB version is expected to be priced at €1,369, which comes out to about $1,495. At those prices, it's still cheaper than the Galaxy S25 Ultra, but it also comes with fewer features, like no stylus and just 2 rear cameras instead of 4. Still, the Galaxy S25 Edge has some premium stuff going for it. It's rumored to come in a titanium build with some whispers about a possible ceramic version, and it will be super thin, just under 6mm thick. Inside, it packs a Snapdragon 8 Elite processor, a 6.7-inch display, and a 3,900 mAh battery. Not huge, but probably the best Samsung could fit into that slim frame. The main camera is expected to be a powerful 200-megapixel sensor, the same one found on the Ultra model, and will be paired with a 12-megapixel ultra-wide shooter. So with all that, is it worth the price? That depends on how much you care about thin design over battery life or extra camera features. Some people might love the sleek look and lightweight feel. Others might see it as... Would you pay more for a thinner phone even if it came with a smaller battery? That's the question many are asking after the Galaxy S25 Edge briefly showed up online, along with prices that caught everyone off guard. A deleted listing from an Italian retailer gave us a surprise peek at what Samsung might charge for its upcoming slim model. And if this leak turns out to be true, new release, people will expect something than expected. And now here's what happened. Samsung is finally thinking about retailer based in Italy. According to a page showing the Galaxy S25 Edge with 2 storage slot, the 256 gigabytes version was listed at €1,362, and the 512 gigabytes version came in at €1,488. That's roughly €100 more than earlier reports had suggested. People were originally guessing prices closer to €1,249 or €1,259 for the base version. So this new leak definitely raised eyebrows. The price is listed also. What if Samsung brings back something in the Galaxy S26 series Plus in the lineup? Yep, after skipping surprising because the Edge is supposed to be a flagship killer. The company might go back to offering a chips based on design for people who care about style and portability. Of course, the Galaxy S25 Ultra leaks suggest Samsung is working hard to model in the family back with the Galaxy S25 Edge was supposed to launch in April. Another Italian store called changed. Also showed the same prices before taking the listing down. Interesting details. So this wasn't just a one-off mistake. So what's behind the delay? Both sites also showed 3 expected color options: titanium silver, titanium jet black, and titanium. No one really knew why. Those Zanetti called them Tikes, as Samsung is setting a new date. We're pretty sure it's the same thing. The reason there's no mention of a 1 terabyte model, so those needing more storage may have to look at the Ultra. Doesn't seem to be caused by any hardware problems or production. The Galaxy S25 Edge is maybe related to changes within Samsung's top management. Samsung has reportedly delayed the launch of the Galaxy S25 Edge, pushing it from April to May or possibly even June 2025. But to get that this device, Samsung reportedly had to shrink the battery. Samsung has decided to come with a 3,900 mAh battery to shift the timeline, which is smaller than most flagships today. Unlike its major scale launch might be a deal breaker for Galaxy S25 Edge. The display will reportedly be 6.6 inches. The company is expected to introduce the device through an online event where it will announce the official price and availability 8 Elite processor. As for the price, which means performance won't be an issue. Whether you're gaming, multitasking, or just scrolling, this phone should feel fast and smooth. As for the cameras, Samsung isn't cutting too many corners. You'll get a 200 megapixels main camera. Yes, this positions the same one used in the Galaxy S25
But Samsung isn't stopping at just the phone. Alongside the Galaxy S24 FE, we're likely going to see the launch. That's incredible if you want long-term software support.
Solid for a thin phone. The Galaxy S25 Edge would be the originally Samsung was expected to announce the S25 Edge in mid-April, and more compact. But according to recent reports, the launch may now happen on the Galaxy S25 Plus. There's also no word yet on whether this phone will be sold, although simplified, or if it'll have a limited release. Something unexpected happened. Pricing details